on behalf of YMCA of Southwestern Ontario, welcome to our annual community gathering. It's a joy to be here with all of you, members, donors, staff, and community partners who make the Y what it is, a place of connection, growth, and belonging. We begin this evening by respectfully acknowledging that we are gathered on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Lenapehoik, Haudenosaunee, and Chinooktun nations on lands connected with the London Township and Sombre Treaties of 1796 and the Dish with One Spoon Covenant Wampum, an agreement to share and care for this land in peace and friendship. As part of our ongoing journey toward truth and reconciliation, we commit ourselves to education, relationship building, and actions that reflect our shared responsibility. We're especially inspired by how our teams work together in the spirit of this commitment every day across our branches, our programs, and our partnerships. Thank you all for being here. Now, let's celebrate the people and stories that continue to light the way forward. Kick things off, I'll invite Andrew Lockie, our CEO, to the podium to share some reflections about 2024.
Thank you very much. And welcome to all of you and to all of those who are joining us via the internet. And the first comment that I want to make, if I could, is that while we're a regional Y, which means, of course, that we span from Windsor to Woodstock and Goderich down to St. Thomas, I am a resident of London, home of the Memorial Cup champion London Knights, and I'm very pleased about that. So thank you, Elise, and good evening to all of you. I want to begin with some gratitude, which is always a nice place to start with anything we do. I want to express that gratitude for your presence here today and for everything our staff, volunteers, members, participants, and donors have contributed to making this past year so impactful. In 2024, more than 240,000 individuals, almost 250,000 people connected with YMCA programs and services just in our region, Southwestern Ontario. Imagine that impact. That's 240,000 journeys of health, support, learning, and possibility. From a child's first day at camp, something I've experienced myself, to a senior's first fitness class, something I have not yet experienced, I promise. To a newcomer's first job, the Y was there. You're going to hear from Christina Harley today about how, through her team's outstanding efforts, we raised over $2.8 million to expand access to those amazing experiences, ensuring that cost was not a barrier to participation. With the launch of our first ever national brand campaign, Shine On, we reached millions with the powerful message of belonging and potential. If you were at our annual community gathering last year, you may recall that we showed a video and we launched the concept of Shine On that evening that you may have later seen on television or the internet. One of our goals emerging from the pandemic has been to increase people's perception of the Y, and we've begun to do so with an impressive 83% of the population recognizing the Y for its important impact as a charity. One shining example of that impact is our YMCA Lifeguard Leadership Academy, which you're going to hear more about this evening. Alex has come to join us. We can't wait to hear from you, Alex. This initiative is not only addressing workforce gaps, it's reigniting potential in our communities and strengthening access to our swim instruction and water safety across the region. These kinds of results are echoed in our annual report, and you can access a copy of that by scanning the QR code that's on the printed agenda that was on your seat when you came in. But here are some highlights that I want to share with you that, in addition to what I already have, that I think are really impressive and important. 4,100 children participated in school-age programs, and we provided full-day childcare to over 2,000 children. More than 1,300 campers attended our overnight camps, Camp Henry and Camp Queen Elizabeth, a place near and dear to my heart and to many in this room. Nearly 4,500 newcomers to Canada were connected to Y services, and over 30,000 health and fitness members swiped their access badges 1.5 million times to access one of our 15 branches across the region. I'm sure the benefits of which were so much more than just their physical fitness. These achievements aren't simply numbers on a page, they are a testament to what we can do when we come together. With the guidance of our strategic plan, Pathways to Shine, which we shared also at the CG last year, and the dedication of our staff and volunteers, we remain focused on building thriving, inclusive communities. Thank you for your continued belief in the Y. We look forward to growing together in the year ahead. I'll now ask that our VP of Fund Development, as I promised, our VP Fund Development, Christina Harley, to come up and share with you some words about the impact of our donors and funds raised for vital programs and services, helping us continue to ignite the spark. Charlie.
Thanks, Andrew. When I think about the past year, specific words come to mind: momentum and growth. Whether it was scaling Jordan's Run the Runway from a single London event to a vibrant race series across 3 communities last year, or raising nearly $3 million in support of life-changing Y programs, 2024 was a year that proves what's possible when we come together. A shining example, our Fill the Bus campaign, in partnership with Main Street Credit Union and generous community members and businesses, we raised $172,000 to support financial assistance for YMCA camp. That meant that more than 860 weeks of subsidized summer camp, the equivalent of 26 full buses, sent excited kids heading off to make memories that will last a lifetime. In addition to our impact at camp, more than $2.8 million in financial assistance was provided last year, helping nearly half of all Y members access programs in health, fitness, and aquatics, regardless of their financial situation. From day camps and overnight adventures to early learning and employment programs, these dollars represent much more than generosity. They represent opportunity. And behind every dollar is a person, a donor, a business, a volunteer, and a partner. In 2024, we were powered by more than 1,900 donors, 55 local businesses, 10 granting foundations, and countless others who helped us deliver on our mission. Each one of you helped fuel experiences like Jordan's Run the Runway, our annual Move-a-thon, and capital needs for YMCA Camp Queen Elizabeth. This isn't just fundraising, it's transformation. And it's only possible because of the spirit and support of the people in this room and across our communities. Thank you for your trust, your partnership, and for making the Y a place where everyone can truly belong.
Thank you, Christina. It's wonderful to collaborate with you and your team on so many of these impactful campaigns. We do work very closely together. Your leadership and passion for the work that you do is truly inspiring. Up next, we're excited to spotlight a standout example of hard work in action. The YMCA Lifeguard Leadership Academy, a program made possible through the incredible support of the Ontario Trillium Foundation. To share more about how this initiative is shaping future leaders, please join me in welcoming Alex Brown.
Hi, thank you, Elise. That was quite the intro. Good evening, everyone. I'm Alex Brown. I am the manager for the YMCA Lifeguard Leadership Academy. I'm very happy to be here with you today, celebrating our annual community gathering. I'm here representing a lot more than just me, obviously, our incredibly exciting Lifeguard Leadership Academy, but let me take you back to the beginning. So in spring of 2023, we were thrilled to receive an OTF Resilience Community Fund grant. It was of $173,000 in support of a new aquatics leadership program at the Y. Specifically, the goal was to recruit, train, and employ new aquatic staff and meet the local needs of drowning prevention through swimming lessons and post-pandemic period. Many of you would be familiar with the challenges of the pandemic and what it created for the Y, and specifically our health, fitness, and aquatics branches. The lockdowns, the financial pressures experienced by so many made it difficult for people to complete the necessary training to become certified lifeguards. Our prospective aquatics employees are often youth, young adults in high school or post-secondary education, and those who during the pandemic were having to manage very challenging times to be a student. So, all of that meant that coming out of the pandemic, we had a difficult challenge to train and hire aquatic staff who could keep our pools safe and provide instruction to the members spanning from infancy all the way to seniors, and the ones in between, of course, Andrew, who wished to learn how to swim. Not there yet. He's working on it, though. This is where the OTF comes in. Thanks to their funding, it allowed us to invest in dedicated staff, marketing efforts, manuals, training equipment, and then the advancement for internal candidates as well. We've welcomed more than 2,000 lifeguard trainees. Yeah, I just want that to sit for a sec. To 194 courses since June of 2023. Yes, I still get goosebumps when I tell you this. To date, 241 of these trainees have become certified national lifeguards. Okay, 247 have become certified swim instructors. This is big, just so you know. All of these trained aquatics leaders can now work at a YMCA pool. They can work for municipal pools. They can work at an overnight camp, hint, hint, or wherever they choose to find employment across Canada. We formally hired a total of 196 since June 2023. So 196 lifeguard swim instructors, bringing our region-wide aquatics team to 305 part-time and full-time staff. This isn't far off from the 350 lifeguards we had in place when the world shut down in March of 2020. These new aquatic leaders are serving a combined of 27,000 members at our YMCA pools in London, Sarnia, St. Thomas, Chatham, Goderich, and Petrolia. Most of our aquatics leadership courses are happening right here. Well, not right here, but not too far from here, at our newly created training hub. The YMCA Lifeguard Leadership Academy is down at Center Branch Y. Please stop by and say hi. I would love to meet anyone who wants to come into the classrooms and check us out. So come on over. Here at the Y, we have a tradition of sharing Y stories. They're my favorite. That demonstrate how the work that we do impacts people's lives. This tends to be when I get a little teary, but I'm going to hold it together. The Y story will be shared by an individual who has experienced the YMCA Lifeguard Leadership Academy firsthand. Please welcome the aquatics manager at the StarTech YMCA branch, Chitra Srikumar.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chitra Srikumar, and I am currently the aquatic manager at the StarTech.com YMCA. Funny enough, this is a newer position for me, as not too long ago, I was working as a supervisor and then lifeguard, swim instructor, and advanced leadership instructor at the Center Branch YMCA for the YMCA Lifeguard Leadership Academy. I was asked to reflect on my journey at the YMCA Lifeguard Leadership Academy, a journey that has significantly shaped my leadership skills and led me to the position of aquatic manager at the StarTech.com YMCA. I truly don't know where I would be without the Academy. Just 6 months before we opened, the Academy is when I first began teaching my first ever leadership course. I remember being scared and nervous but also feeling so fulfilled as teaching has always been a goal of mine. When I first joined, I was eager to learn and grow, but I had no idea just how transformative this experience would be. During my time, I have gained problem-solving skills and furthering my mentoring abilities. For example, when instructing a national lifeguard course, I was notified of a change in pool availability affecting my plan. I had to quickly adapt, as I was planning on taking the class to the pool deck in the next 15 minutes. In past situations as this, they would have caused me a great deal of stress. Instead, I think I laughed at Alex. And then from my experiences to that point at the academy, I knew things could change at any moment in aquatics. In those next 15 minutes, I calmly figured out how to adapt my lesson plan. My class ended up doing practice rescues as well as deep diving into some of our first aid topics. We made the best of our time with what we had, and it was all because I learned how to think quickly and solve problems in a tough situation. As I have stepped into the role of manager, I bring these experiences and lessons with me. I am deeply thankful to the OTF and the Y for making this opportunity possible, as well as Alex Brown for the mentorship and guidance, along with everyone else who has been a part of this journey. Your support and encouragement have been invaluable. Thank you.
Thank you both so much for sharing. Alex, about the Leadership Academy, I know you've just taken this and led it with such pride. It's just really incredible to see how far you've come. And Chitra, I know firsthand how incredible you are as a lifeguard. She demands the pool area. My daughter has experienced training under her, and you just do such a wonderful job. So kudos to both of you. Moving along to another exciting presentation. And I'm going to ask Andrew Lockie and Christina, actually, to come back up and take things over.
And I would echo the words that you shared just now for Chitra and to Alex. People often say to me, you know, what differentiates the Y? There are others that do swimming lessons. There are others that do overnight camps. There are others that have gyms and pools and childcares. And I always love to say it is definitely our people. There is a thing about our people that is special, and you just got two great examples of that. The enthusiasm and passion and care and pride that comes through. My own kids, as Alex, as you know, have also gone through Center Branch through you in their lifeguarding journeys as well, and both work at overnight camp now. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. And now I have the distinct honor to present Janice Strickland with the King Charles III's Coronation Medal. Pause. Over to you. No. Yep. I'm super excited about this, and before I get into some of the notes that are prepared here so that we don't miss anything, I just wanted to share that one of the things that I find so great about this is that Janice's connection to the Y was forged through Jordan, a very special person, at Camp Queen Elizabeth. And Camp Queen Elizabeth is named after King Charles's mother. And I think there's a connection there that I hope you'll keep in your mind and heart as you wear this with pride. This prestigious honor is awarded to individuals who have made significant contributions to their province, territory, region, or community in Canada, or who have achieved distinction abroad in a way that brings pride and recognition to our country. Janice embodies these qualities through her exceptional service and dedication. Janice, your extraordinary work organizing Jordan's Run the Runway in memory of Jordan has made a profound difference in our community. 11 years ago, you embarked on a journey to ensure every child could experience the magic of YMCA Camp Queen Elizabeth, just like Jordan did, just like I did. And today we celebrate the legacy that you have created. Jordan's Run the Runway has raised over $1.6 million to date. And its impact, yes, absolutely. Amazing. And we didn't even know if we were going to do it a second time. It was something that just came together, but we couldn't stop. It was so great. And its impact now has now expanded to 4 communities, all sharing Jordan's legacy. So we're in other communities doing a Run the Runway race as well. Jordan was a child and young adult who, despite his mobility and communication challenges, participated fully in everything, including attending Camp Queen Elizabeth as a camper and a volunteer. Your advocacy for inclusion during Jordan's life and your continued efforts after his passing have transformed lives. The first race you organized took off as a resounding success, leading to the establishment of the Jordan Strickland Family Fund at the Y. This fund has provided over $500,000 in assistance to support equipment purchases, capital investment, and sending 69 kids to attend camp, with one of them completing leadership training and becoming a staff member for the past 3 summers, which is so incredibly cool. Your vision and commitment have ensured that children who could not afford a camp experience at CQE can benefit from it now. This is a shining example of the Y's mission in action, and for this we are eternally grateful. Janice, your work has been nothing short of transformative. You have not only honored Jordan's memory, but you have also created opportunities for many children to experience the magic of camp. Your legacy of inclusion and support will continue to impact generations to come. Thank you for your remarkable contribution to our community, and congratulations on this very well-deserved honor. Let us all take a moment to celebrate Janice Strickland and the profound positive impact she has had on our community. Janice, I invite you to please come to the podium. And Christina is going to come up as well. But we also want to, do we want to stand over here for now? Okay. Okay, so come on over here. Very proud to honor my friend and inspiration, Janice Strickland, with the King Charles III's Coronation Medal.
I think I'll just rip up most of this because I'm better at speaking off the cuff at Jordan's Run than I am at standing up in front of a crowd. But I want to thank everybody who took the time to come out tonight. It's really humbling to see so many people, so many familiar faces, and everyone that I reluctantly invited with Christina's. This is tough for me. I don't like to be kind of like the center of attention. So, and Andrew said a lot of, what our motivation is. Jordan actually started before CQE. He did a few day camps too. And then he did an overnight out at Clark Road and experienced the cement pond. And that's when it started with Becky Wilson saying Jordan needs to go up to CQE, which was actually pretty terrifying. Because, as you know, he didn't talk and he needed help with pretty well everything. So we would meet this young person every year who was going to be his assistant, and they gradually became a lot younger than Jordan. Like they'd be 16-year-old boys, and I'd go like, "Have you ever even babysat or anything?" But they were so incredible, every single one of them. I'm sure I terrified them with all the things I wanted to make sure happened for Jordan, but anyway, it was obviously the best decision we ever made in Jordan's life. He would go to the bus, and he couldn't wait to get on that bus. Even if we were an hour early, he had to be on the bus, especially if it was the London Knights bus. He loved. And the staff at CQE, like as you said, Jordan didn't miss out on a thing. In fact, he got to do some things other kids didn't because his mobility challenges. Like he got to canoe down the rapids where other people had to carry their canoes and portage. They were jealous of Jordan sometimes with a little helmet on. So anyway, when Jordan suddenly lost his life, our whole world completely changed because he was basically my job, and he had a great life of participation in the London community with support of amazing young assistants who made sure he showed up in his volunteer jobs as someone who had a purpose in being there and who was missed if he didn't show up, which is what everyone hopes for in their life, that somebody knows you're missing or you should have been there. So I'm not going to really say anything about the run, except that when our friend asked us about it, we just were like, this was like 3 months after Jordan died, and we were pretty well in full-on grief. So, but luckily we decided to go ahead with it, and the rest is history. We've been so honored to be able to send so many kids to camp who wouldn't even have heard about anything like Camp Queen Elizabeth. And not only is one her third year working, there's, I think, 4 more in leadership levels this year, and they all just love it as much as Jordan did. And they're definitely coming from a lot of families that honestly would never, they need everything. Like, we subsidize every single thing they need, if they need extra clothes or anything. So they're very grateful. But anyway, I don't really have much else to say, except we keep repeating those words from that great Camp Queen Elizabeth song, that we're better now for the knowing of you, Jordan. So thank you very much for this great honor.
I wanted to say, as your family knows, it's been an absolute privilege to support you in organizing this race over the last 11 years, and your family's dedication to honoring Jordan's legacy and advocating for inclusion has been inspiring. Jordan's ability to participate in everything despite his challenges is a testament to yours and Paul's unwavering support and love. I'm so lucky to have met Jordan during his time at our Y, but also to collaborate closely with the Strickland family during that time and after. And in doing so, I do believe we've become friends. Together, we have ensured that Jordan's spirit continues to live on through the race and also through the Strickland Family Fund. But today, I present you these flowers as a symbol of appreciation and admiration for yours and Paul's tireless efforts and your immense differences that you have made.
Congratulations, Janice. Thank you so much for sharing your words with us, too. You're truly a symbol of what we aim to uphold through our mission each and every day at the Y. And keeping on the topic of exciting medal presentations, earlier this year, our colleague, Ray Cornyn, was presented with a King Charles III medal by our friends at Y Canada. So we just want to give him a local kudos, even though he's already received the wonderful celebration from Y Canada. But we've got Krista Gillespie, VP of Youth Engagement, who's going to be sharing some remarks. And I think we've got the medal here as well that we can also show off a little bit. But
I gave it back to him. I didn't lose it. Thank you very much, everybody. Ray, you can come on up. I don't. It's not part of the plan. It's always part of the plan. So as Andrew pointed out a little bit earlier, the Y is about the people, and certainly that is true with Ray. I have had the opportunity and the pleasure to be working with Ray now for about 1.5 years, and as pointed out, Ray received the King Charles Coronation Medal about 2 months ago now through Y Canada. So we want, that happened in Toronto, which we weren't at. So we're very proud to be sharing the reason and the legacy of Ray and what he has done in order to be awarded this medal. So Ray has I'm going to do this now. Ray has consistently championed the importance of youth voices within the YMCA, believing that empowering young leaders is essential for shaping the future. His dedication to creating platforms for meaningful dialogue and fostering environments where youth contributions are valued has been evident through everything he's done in his career to date. Whether through facilitating programs, mentoring young leaders, or engaging in collaborative initiatives, Ray ensures that young people have the opportunity to impact decision-making processes and organizational growth. So a bit about Ray, and I will also point out that Ray's parents are joining us today, so thank you for being here, and I'm sure you're thrilled to hear our words. Ray's first experience, which is thanks to you, was with the YMCA taking swimming lessons as an 8-year-old after moving to Canada. Ray started his Y career facilitating youth programs and roles such as child and youth worker, kids club program leader, and day camp director. From there, he's moved up through different positions and is currently our regional manager of employment services. This list certainly doesn't touch on everything Ray has done, but a few things to acknowledge. In 2022, he attended YMCA World Council in Denmark as a youth delegate. In 2023, he was selected to the National Young Leaders Advisory Committee and remains on it until his term is up in 2026. He was the co-chair of the Coward Youth Leadership Award Selection Committee. He was part of the 2024 National Conference Steering Committee, and he is currently supporting the Y Canada's Young Leaders Council initiative to help other Ys build youth advisory councils, leveraging the youth voice. Ray is a very worthy recipient of this prestigious award. Congratulations, Ray.
Wonderful. Congratulations once again, Janice and Ray. Thank you for everything you do for our Y and for our community. And now I'd like to introduce Tracy Stubb, SVP of People and Culture, to announce some incredible staff career milestones. Come on up.
Thanks, Elise. So as we prepare to close tonight's formal program, I want to take a moment to recognize just a few of our extraordinary people. Our Y is people-oriented. It's made possible by employees who show up with passion, volunteers who give their time generously, and community partners who say yes to building something greater together. We recognize that time is precious, and we know that everyone has a choice about how and where they spend their time. And we're grateful to so many who choose year after year to be part of helping our communities shine. We have a number of employees who've literally given decades of their lives to supporting our mission. And tonight we honor those in attendance who are celebrating a significant milestone this year. So I'm going to read out the names of the individuals. If you are here tonight, if you could please come to the front, where I'll give you a certificate. We want to get a quick individual photo, and then you'll be free to go back to your seats. So our first is for 20 years, Kathy Jones. Is Kathy here tonight? Okay. Karen Szarzewski, at 20 years. Kristen Smith, also 20. Leanne Gerard, I know that you're here, Leanne. Just over here, yes, no. Yes. Yes, thank you. Stephanie Isbell. Stephanie here. Wagiha Sultan, Zakia Zarabi, Heather Forbes, Stella Perry, Bonnie Norris, Cindy Frizzell. I know Cindy's here. Cindy was 5 when she started with us.
You got a good side? Thank you.
Joelle Rinker. Martha Walters. Tamara Milmine. Good stuff. And Teresa Hunter. Great. So quickly before we close this evening, I couldn't help but take advantage of this time to acknowledge my work buddy, Joelle Rinker. Joelle is retiring after 30 years of dedication to our Y, and I'm very happy for you, and I'm excited for you to have more time to spend at the mill. You'll be missed by so many of us. I'm sure there's going to be an opportunity for us to properly roast you before you go. So I'm going to just pass it over to Andrew to say a few words now.
Yeah, I'm going to keep this brief because there's definitely going to be like a roast-style send-off at the end of July. But really did want to thank you so much for everything you've contributed to the Y, and I feel like I've had a first row seat because it was actually over 20 years ago, just over 20 years ago, by the best of my ability to figure out the time difference. I can't remember the exact year, but I think it was probably 2004, 2003, in that neighborhood, that I was in charge of newcomer services as one of my the things in my portfolio of work that I did. And I received a very angry phone call from somebody named Joelle Rinker, who I had not yet met, but she was super pissed about something that was going on. And she wanted to make sure that as the new leader of the newcomer services department that I was well aware of the issue. I can even remember what the issue was. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Anyway, so we won't go over what the issue was, but but I remember once she told me about it saying something along the lines of, "You're right, that is an issue. We got to fix that. What are you going to do about it?" Which is often what I say when people start talking about problems. But interestingly, just a few weeks later, we posted the job to be the manager of the newcomer services in the area, and Joelle, as she tells the story, was worried that she'd screwed up the chance that she might have had to get that job because she had called to complain. But I actually was deeply impressed that Joelle cared so much about her experience and the experience of her students that she wanted to do something about changing things rather than just being annoyed by it. So that, if you ever needed to know who Joelle is, that's who Joelle is. When something's wrong, she is on it. And with dedication, we like to say that one of the characteristics of our association, despite what we've become in terms of geography and size and number of employees and number of programs, number of childcare centers, number of before and after school care centers, is that there's still, it doesn't matter who you are in this organization, there are no jobs too small. And when something comes up and we need to solve a problem and we need to get to work on it, we roll up our sleeves and get to work on it, no matter who you are in this association. And nobody exemplifies that better than Joelle Rinker. So thank you so much, Joelle. We have some flowers for you too. And why don't we, if we can come over and just have a picture as well, please. You might.
Well, I'm about to close the evening, so if we wanted to just collectively give a round of applause to everybody who shared tonight and shared their stories. And thank you to those who shared, and thank you to everybody who's helped make this evening a wonderful evening. And we hope you leave tonight inspired by the power of community and proud to be part of the Y family. So let's keep building this momentum together. So we do have refreshments over here, and there are no nuts whatsoever, and you're welcome to approach the table on either side for the sake of efficiency. But at this point, we are formally closed, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.